Choice here again for another session of Choice Spirit, part 2 of the part 1. Hey, you know what happened? This is what happened. I talked about how there's an intentional manipulation of your mind, okay? There's a way they get in there and shift how you feel, what you are thinking, what your actions are, who you are being at any given moment, your behavior, your works, your deeds, everything. They know how to get into your mind and pull the strings, make you dance to their rhythm, to their beat. And guess what? We're jerking around. We're jerking around and don't even feel the strings. This is how sleep. And we'll talk about that in the other video, because there are levels of consciousness, there are levels of awareness, and we're all sleepwalking to some degree. All of us. There was a time where everyone listened to the radio. And as long as you had the money, you could play your song on the radio. They would play your song and market your song and have that song play every 5 minutes on the radio. If you were driving, if you were sitting, if you were at work, if you were anywhere where the radio was playing, you were subjected to a song that they played over and over and over and over again. The lyrics were set. Okay? And in fact, after a while, you knew the words to the song. If you didn't know the words to the song, you were able to hum the tune, but those words were still playing in your subconscious mind. And unbeknownst to you, they did order your steps. Usually we leave that to we count on the Most High, which walks and talks and breathes through us to order our steps. But no, when we allow this outside stuff to come in, that then begins to be our God. Because then we subconsciously walk to the rhythm and the frequency of that beat. That becomes who we serve without realizing it. It becomes our Most High. We give it over where we're not thinking anymore. Not thinking anymore. And I'm going to speak about that also, because some of us, we are seeing people that we believe should know better, participating in things that are detrimental to them, to the community at large, to the human experience. And it's so much so where they're completely oblivious that they're doing anything harmful, because something has been so deeply rooted. It's what moves them. It's what causes them to create. So why am I pushing this and harping on this so much? It's because we create with our minds and our hearts. I say this, we're creators. We are participants in all that you see. We are co-creators in all that you see that exists, or you believe you see that exists. And if you are not the one deliberately making a decision as to what you will create, those that are intentionally controlling your mentality, your way of being, is calling all the shots. Right now, you got folks that are talking about trying to take folks, you got folks trying to take our freedom away. We are born free. It is our human right to be free, to live a life according to our choosing, or the divine, which is, working through us. But if we don't become conscious to who's living our lives for us, we're forfeiting the experience. So who's shaping your world? And is that what you want? I talked a little bit about manifestation. And there is a way of manifesting where you get your thoughts and your feelings aligned, and you put that vibe of what it is, you become one with whatever it is that you choose to experience in your life. You feel for it, you get excited about the knowing that it's already with you, and so therefore it is. And you get to feel that it's with you and it will show in its time. And you never ever doubt. You never doubt. Because there's a saying, if you believe 99.99999 and on and on and on %, and then that one moment of doubt, that one moment of doubt forsakes all the other knowing. So you cannot afford the luxury of doubt. So in our innate ability to manifest is natural, is who we are. But yeah, some of us, because we're so detached from our true being, as far as awareness of this true being, we have to go through the hoops and jump through loops and everything to figure it out. Yeah, think about it, feel about it, get excited about it, do vision boards, do affirmations, scripting, think about it every night, think about it every day, write it out, map it out, do all of these things to make it happen for you. When the truth is, you are so powerful. You only need to observe it and say, wow, that's nice. I like that. Yeah, that feels right. I like that. And things will happen when you really are in sync with that self, with your true self. It seems like things come, it just happens. Though we know there is a thing of divine action, that means when the urge tells you to move, you move in a joyful spirit, because it's guiding you towards that you've just took a moment and became aware of and felt it and say, ooh, that's nice. I like that. Yeah. And you have that moment, that intimate moment. It's like a real intimate, loving moment. A sexual encounter, if you will, where you feel in that thing. And then it's over, it's done. And you go about your way, and then somehow a door opens and it's taking you this way and it's taking you that way, and the next thing you know, you're opening the door to your business, your home, your whatever it is, right? You give birth. So it's formed in darkness. Everything is formed in darkness, in a secret place. Even your heart is formed in a secret place. Your heart and tongue. So when you come out and you speak, coming from the heart, and you see it, you feel it, there's that intimacy that takes place in a dark space, which then bursts, it begins to become, it shows up physical, in your physical experience. Manifestation. Everything I thought I wanted to experience. There's a few things, there's a couple of things that I realized that I doubted, or I had an inner script or some preconceived notion or attachment to a belief that really I find, well, let me choose my words carefully because that has to go too. But at one time, I allowed it to get in the way of whatever I felt I could be, do, or have, or experience, right? There was something within me, embedded when I was very young, perhaps, something I heard along the way that had me doubt. So my insecurity, my self-doubt, perhaps low self-esteem, lack of confidence, whatever it was playing in my mind, kept me from even considering it. But later I found that everything I looked at and felt about came about without me jumping through hoops. It came about. So now it is to trust myself, to trust that which is within me, enough to know that those other things that I at one time, doubted can be. But things may have changed now, may not be of interest anymore, but at one time. But that's about manifestation. That's about, I spoke about manifestation. I spoke about why it's important to take control of your mind and why I speak about it so often. It's so that it just becomes where you know it now. You know it, and you begin to walk in the knowing of this truth. Of this truth. You are a natural creator. A natural, you manifest, you call things forth. You give birth, you give life to things. With that said, if you give your attention over to someone else's things, you'll be just as brilliant, you'll be just as powerful at calling forth their stuff. You'll be just as powerful at calling forth their stuff. So know that that's for you, to call forth your stuff. Love the life that you live. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me again for another session of Choice Spirit. Namaste.